Hey guys, welcome to Sketchaday. I'm Spencer and I'm an industrial designer. I love drawing, and the following is a segment from my live show. I go live 3 or more times a week now. If this is your first time, I want you to hit subscribe. That's the little red button. Turn on alerts and come say hi on the socials. I'm at sketchaday.com on Instagram, and you can also find me on Twitter at Daily Sketches. And I'm pretty easy to find on Facebook. Just search for Sketchaday. And I appreciate your contributions, donations, and all that good stuff. If you want information about that, it's all below in the video description. Or better yet, you can check out my store at sketchaday.com. And there I have procreate brushes, stickers, and all sorts of goodies for you. So you can also check that out. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. So let's get started here. Is the screen protector required? No, it's not required. It works without the screen protector. It's just whatever you like. Really. Paperlike 2 has a smoother grain. Okay, cool, but I get 3 screen protectors for like $8 on Amazon, so I'm not sure a $20 product is necessary. So let's see. So I just pulled up some reference just real quick, just so I can figure out the articulation of what's happening. I don't really have a way to switch to that. So we'll just make some stuff up. All right, so let's just start with kind of setting the stage. Okay, so I'll just draw 2 planes, or a plane rather, like this. Let's go ahead and move this, position it a little better on the screen. And for you guys on Instagram, I am tipping the tablet. It looks better for me if I do this. So if you don't want to deal with the glare and see all this stuff, definitely hit up the YouTube. That's youtube.com/sketchaday.com. And if you subscribe and turn on alerts, you won't miss when I post. All right. And so at this point, I like to, we can find the midpoint of this line, roughly. Let's go ahead and do that. So it wasn't too far off. Right about there. Oops. And at this point, let's draw a cross. And so this is now 90 degrees. And the reason for that is I want to be able to give some thickness to all this. All right. What's up, Eves? Hello, hello. Oh, medical stuff. My bad. My bad. Okay. So at this point, let's go ahead and just throw in an ellipse here. Maybe another one here. I need to make sure. Okay, I'm drawing with the fine liner. Just wanted to make sure. And now, at this point, just going to throw in an arc. And I can start to sketch in a handle. All right, so the plane is just more there for setup. But I can throw in a handle, and we can connect this handle to one side of this series of ellipses. Like I said, I'm going to try and be a bit more deliberate with my stroke today. All right, much like I would with a fine liner. Is there something, just something about digital sketching that makes me want to hesitate? I don't know what it is. All right, so now for the other handle, let's go ahead and sketch down. Like so. And I'll just throw in a couple lines here for a grip. And now I got to decide what's on the end here. So garden shear, right? I'm going to be cutting leaves and stuff, or branches. So we're going to have something thin like that. Let's go ahead and give this a little sharpness. And perhaps, we can match the shape on the bottom side here. Just throw in a curve. Actually, let me zoom out so I can actually compose this. All right, so I'll throw a curve like so. And then let's go flat and maybe just do something funky like this. All right, something like that. Now, maybe on the back side here of this tool, you could actually have like some sort of, you know, if there's a branch or a twig or something you just want to kind of cut. And I'll use the eraser. So this touch control again in the top left, if I tap on it, you'll notice it gets a little bit bigger. Okay, and now my brush is an eraser. So again, it's just a quick way for me to switch from brush to eraser if I'm using the tool, instead of having to, you know, go back to the menu bar and all that. So yeah, maybe this is just a way for me to cut a branch or whatever if I need to. Yeah, I'm using Adobe Fresco, so it's free. And the good thing is Photoshop brushes work with it. And if you have Creative Cloud libraries set up, you can be working on your computer and then quickly just switch to working on Fresco fairly easily. Okay, so let's say I want to protect or keep my hand from slipping. Maybe I want to add something here. So let's go ahead and change our profile just a little bit. Like so. Maybe that stops you from your hand inadvertently slipping into something. Same thing on the bottom here. Maybe I want to protect this little blade. It might be, again, something I just want to have access to. So a couple things you could do. Maybe it has a slip cover. Maybe, you know, this shape continues down is also an option. So we could do something like this. I mean, at the same time, that kind of obscures your ability to use this feature. Although you could have the branch, we could just sketch that in, you know, if the branch is here, whatever. You know, you could almost route it through. So I think I'll keep it. We'll just extend this lower portion here and continue this curve all the way through. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know what it's about digital sketching, man, but I just noticed, like when I have a Papermate flare, I know exactly where it's gonna go. With this, I'm always a little bit hesitant, doing undos and zooms. I don't use Quicklime though, or Streamline, but other than that, I do find myself being a bit more hesitant. So just been trying to work on that. Maybe I just need to sketch more digitally as well. It's also a strong possibility. So Sketch-A-Day Live, thanks for joining. Kind of experimenting and doing this every day and seeing how you guys like it. If it's something I want to even do. So thanks for hanging out. It's kind of convenient we're all working from home too, so your boss can't be like, hey, what are you watching? So I do appreciate it. Diana says, you might want to make a video of the tweaks you do for your Fresco brushes in Procreate. I've not tried all of them. Yeah, they're made for Fresco and Photoshop, so I make no claims that, you know, they will work flawlessly in Procreate, but I can take a look. I'm guessing it's the ones that are probably textured that have issues, but maybe something else you're thinking of. Yeah, I think I'll do a lawnmower next. And then if you have suggestions for tomorrow's show, let me know. Be happy to take a look. think I'm going to change the tip here. Old habits. I keep switching on the bar here on the side. What do you recommend, digital or paper? If you're learning to draw, definitely sketch on paper first. It's cheaper. And you don't really develop as much confidence sketching digitally as you do on paper, I think. At least that's been my experience. So, and if you're good on paper, you'll be good digitally, and you'll save yourself tons of money. So there's also that. Because an iPad, at least this iPad Pro, cost me, because I got the LTE version and a few other things, was about $1,400, which is paid for itself, just through projects and whatever else. But it's still a pretty high commitment, right? So again, when I'm designing something, I like to kind of think in holistic shapes and then take bits out. So here I'm going to make some tweaks so that there's an implied line, okay, in its state. So I can erase this now, and I've changed the shape of the profile, but now I want to kind of resolve what's happening down here. So you can just keep playing with it. Maybe I just do something simple like this and just have a little sharp edge to it. But again, the implied line is there, right? Let's just do a little cleanup on the blade. So I've got to figure out the surface transition here. So bear with me. Let's make a new layer. Oops, new layer. And I'm going to go ahead and pick red. So now I just kind of want to draw through what's happening, right? So we've got this somewhat cylindrical section, and then we have this plane meeting up. And depending on what's happening here and where this lands, right, we're going to have a certain transition. So I just have to figure out what's happening in this spot. Now I'll switch to blue and kind of just draw this out. You know, maybe it's a line like that, and then this surface would be flat and then wrap up like so, and then over. Okay, so as I'm doing my shading, I just have to remember to shade in a way that reinforces this surface transition. Or in other words, from the top, you kind of have this kind of thing happening. Would it be the other way? I'm trying to think. It might be the other way, actually. Like that. Because that's the handle. This is why orthographic views are also helpful, because you can kind of figure out what's happening with things like your articulation points. So here I'm going to add a transition, and I think I'm right that it would be this other way. But you might have some slight ramp up anyways, so I'll just shade that, and mostly just thinking out loud here, guys. Hope you're having a good Monday so far. Alright, so something like that. Crank down this opacity. Let's go back to my layer. If you wanted to, you could redraw the whole thing as well. You know, when in doubt, rough it out, which is kind of what I've done. It's very rough. There is no ellipse tool in Fresco, so it's very much a freehand drawing tool. I was really encouraged last night, actually. I saw Scott Robertson. He posted online. It was cool to see, because a lot of his sketches, you can tell there's like an ellipse template or guide being used, but the ones last night that he posted, this video, totally was freehand. I was like, yeah, freehand, man. This is good. It's good to see some old school in the new school. Let's see. Nate, are these tin snips? These are just, I'm just trying to do some garden shears or something along those lines. So I'm trying to figure out the surface transition in this area right now is what I'm trying to do. So to make this a little bit easier, I'm actually going to modify this a little bit more. Which kind of looks weird now. Because what I'm trying to do is have this feel like it's actually transitioning out to the pivot point. But if it's down here, as low as it is, actually no, it should work. It should work. I'll just undo that crap. Okay. Here we go. There is a quick line tool in Fresco. But again, I like being able to just move between Photoshop and Fresco. There's cloud documents, so whatever I'm doing here is automatically backed up and available in my Photoshop on my desktop. So let's see. You guys on Instagram, I can't watch both chats, so pardon me if you feel I am ignoring you, but better to hang out on the YouTube. Okay. That's the chat I am watching, but happy to share the stream. All right, so let's turn that off now. And I think I am going to redraw this section. So what I'll do is just make a new layer, and let's go ahead and crank the opacity down. And then I'll just focus on this little area here. Get my ellipses in. Almost got that one. All right, here we go. Okay, so the goal here is just cleaning up these ellipses and maybe some of these articulation connection points. So that is a nice thing about working digitally, is you can focus on certain things. Yeah, maybe I'll just redraw the whole thing. Be a bit more deliberate, like I said. So Sketch-A-Day Live, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Special shout out to the Patreons. We got a bunch of you here as well. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and redraw it. And again, just trying to be deliberate, not trace. Just like I would on paper. Let's drop this opacity a little bit more. Diana says it's 1 a.m. Where are you at? Are you in India? Where are you guys at? What's up, Matt? You never get notified? That's weird. Did you change some settings on your phone or computer? I don't know. YouTube just tells me it's going to work, so I just believe him, but maybe not. Would it be better to have like a calendar invite? I could do, you know, if you set up some, I don't know, I could set up a calendar thing. See if that worked. You guys let me know. Because I don't really know what the best answer is. For notifying. I did try Instagram. This handle feels kind of anemic. Oh, I didn't finish the other line. I did try Instagram reminders for a little bit. I don't know how that was for you. A few people signed up for them. So yeah, I don't know what works best. So I'm just going to erase these lines. And now we have kind of a consistent look and direction and flow. Yeah, I kind of want to bring back my little return here. Just a little bit. Okay, just a little cleanup. Okay, zoom out. Let's go. Boom. And I'll turn off my undersketch, and there's my sketch available. Okay. Still a bit off on this ellipse, but I'll tweak this one. So just doing some shading with lines here on these parts that are going to be shiny. Hello, Gayatri. How to be innovative while designing any product? That's a very big question. I have a project coming up that may help, but I would say creativity is about finding unexpected connections between things. So you don't always have to reinvent the wheel per se. Sometimes it's just identifying the unexpected and using that. But yeah, I do have a project coming up that will help give you some ideas. Just a little secondary line here. I'm spending way too long on this, so we'll do quick color. Then we'll get our lawnmower in. I could do a riding lawnmower, I guess. That would satisfy a lot of you car fans. But I'm thinking of an electric lawnmower of some sort. I guess I could keep this black and white. That would be interesting. The only color I really have to add is on the handle here. So it may seem weird, but I'm actually not doing this. I'm trying to do this. Okay, this feels kind of sloppy and not very considered. So I'm trying to actually lift the pencil after each stroke. because that's how I draw in real life. So again, drawing digitally means that I'm just translating how I normally draw into the digital package. This is Adobe Fresco, yes. Do those pop up, Matt, when I schedule on the YouTube channel? I'm just curious. Just gonna shade in some reflective lines here. Again, if you're not sure about reflections and where to put lines and stuff, just look at shiny objects. Comic book art is another good resource if you're interested in doing better line work and expressing things with lines, because a lot of those illustrations are it's actually really fascinating. They do pencil first, and then they do ink, and then they do the color, and oftentimes it's done by 3 different people. So someone does the pencil work, someone else does the ink, and then someone else does the color. But you can, if you ever get a behind the scenes look, you'll see kind of how that's done and how things like texture or reflections are represented. So it's a good resource if you're trying to get a bit more confidence and be a bit more deliberate with your lines and how you express things. Also, if this is reflective, you're going to get the cylinder reflecting back in to this blade. So that's what I'm doing right there, just with my lines. Not so much here though. And that's because this is at a slight angle. So if it's at an angle, you're going to get reflection more like this. So slightly distorted in there. And then just for general shading, let's go ahead and go from dark to very light. Just some style dots, what I call that. Yeah, this is Adobe Fresco. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They're normally amongst the other okay. I think, yeah, I'll have to just look into that and figure out. What's up, Jules? Nolan, hey. Yes, Fabian, this is on an iPad Pro. And it is Adobe Fresco. All right, so now I'm going to jump to one of my marker brushes here. And again, in Fresco, you can pick a brush and then add it to your favorites just by tapping the star. So I actually have all my favorites here. I've got this basic marker. So let's use green. Should I use green? Maybe a teal for this garden tool. All right, so we'll make this bigger. And let's try and shade this like I would with a real marker. So drop the saturation a bit. Okay, just build up the value. Unlike a real marker, however, I can erase. So that's something I can do. And I can change the size. So that's also nice. It's also pressure sensitive. There's buildup available. So build up a shadow core there and there. And let's just shade the body. Again, just trying to be deliberate like I would be with a real marker. So roll call, I'm curious, what do you guys all do for work? How'd you discover this? Were you just browsing YouTube and then it popped up? Or Instagram? Are you all accountants? This is all with just one marker brush, by the way. So again, you can set it so it has that build up. I think I changed the brush mode on this one to, let me double check. Here in my brush settings. Transfer. So it has all the Photoshop, oops, I was on the eraser. It has all the Photoshop brush controls, so it'll pull those in. I can change the blending mode. Right now it's set to multiply, so that's why I'm getting these deeper, darker values with just one marker. So kind of handy, I don't have to switch the color and all that. The Diva Diaries, MAIA in design, out of practice, found me on Instagram. Thanks. Welcome. I'm an industrial designer. I just like to draw, but I do consult and do regular design work as well. My favorite digital brush, someone's asking. I like Speckle Brushes, they're fun. I'll show you one. So I do have a Speckle brush in my set. I think it's called Spatter. Yeah, so I can put just a little texture onto this handle if I want. So I like these, they're fun. I don't know if you guys follow Roshan. He's a designer out of the Netherlands, but he's got a great set of heavy texture brushes, pencils, and so forth. So I'm not sure if, did you release those yet, Roshan, or no? I've gotten to test them, but yeah, you guys should check those out. So this brush I actually sampled from real spray paint that I did, and then so it's a completely unique brush in that sense, that regard. Okay, just a little texture there. Is sketching on iPad more convenient than sketching on the Wacom tablet? You have to decide what's convenient. So if you like to sketch on the go, then yes, I enjoy drawing on an iPad. If you're someone who likes to sit at a desk, then a Wacom tablet may be more convenient for you. So it's all about whatever you like. Let's go back to my marker here. And so for this one, now I'm just gonna kind of wash over here, and let's use a slightly bluish gray. Okay. And now I'll just erase what I don't need. There are some weird things about Fresco too, though, but again, I do like that I can just literally open up my computer and the file will be there with cloud documents. So that's handy. Also, if you have color palettes, you can actually pull these in. So there's a My Library thing that pops up. I can tap on that, and this may have colors that I've used in other projects that I might have wanted to save. So if you're working on like a big design project and you all are using the same colors, you can you can leverage that in Fresco using Creative Cloud libraries. Matt says, great talk yesterday on diversity. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was a good chat. Got together with Advanced Design, and they invited me and a few others to share our experiences about being minority designers, everything from education to just professional life. Certainly an interesting time we're in right now. So yeah, I was happy to be a part of that. Okay, almost done here, guys. And then we'll do our quick lawnmower. So I'm trying to keep these to about an hour. I spent way too long on this one. But I'll get the hang of it. I'll figure it out. And like I mentioned before, I'll probably do a longer stream as well. Maybe just focus on one sketch for the entire, hour and a half, 2 hour show. And see how tight we can get stuff. All right, so we're pretty much there. I do want to show you one other thing. So I did make these wash brushes as well as, pardon me, it's like watercolor texturizer. So you can almost use this to make backgrounds, if you will. And that's kind of my thought and how I was thinking about using them in my drawings. So these aren't super organized, so let me see if I can find it. There's this texture wash, and we're just going to make it huge. Right? And now I can pick the color. I'm trying to think what a good... I could do orange, but that might be weird. Right? That might be... No, that actually works. So let's make this huge. Okay. And on a new layer behind, I'm just going to tap. Like so. And because I didn't put white down first, I actually have to go and erase everything, but that's fine. So now I can erase. You could erase or you could mask, whichever way you prefer working. But just a quick way to get a nice textured background in. So yeah, that's how I use those. If you've picked up the brush pack and you're like, what are these for? They're weird. That's kind of my thought on how I would use them personally. And then to further separate the background, you can always introduce a bit of rim light and effect. The original stencil is in here as well. Let's see, right there, boom. So I can use just a nice white. Just kind of come in here and help separate the sketch from the background just a little bit. I like it too because it's somewhat translucent, so it's not completely negating the orange. Whoa, that was weird. It's not completely negating the orange. It's more of a nice blend. That's actually wrong. This should be something like that. So I'll tweak that in a little bit. And then we'll do the lawnmower, I promise. But at this point, we're probably going to go overtime, so. unless I keep it as a very quick sketch. Okay, so I'm gonna modify what I did here, and we'll just fudge it, make it quick and dirty. But I gotta fix that. It's gonna drive me crazy. Made some mistakes on the football helmet I did the other day and on the other one, so I mean, there's always mistakes. Always. All right, maybe just some little logo indication there. You know, this is our limb cutter. Let me jump back to a fine liner. It is a somewhat textured fine liner as well because I wanted to replicate the feeling of drawing on paper, at least the appearance a bit. This is my twig cutter. All right, so something like that. Okay, so there's my shears. Let's see. Latrice, currently an administrative assistant. Cool, man. Working on drawing and designing t-shirts. Thanks for chiming in. Any tips on how to decide what to do in the background? Not really. You just kind of have to figure out what works for you, which probably isn't the answer you want. All right. So now it's saving this document to the cloud. So again, if I open up my laptop in a few seconds, it should be on my laptop, but I'm not going to disconnect and show you that right now. So let's make another one. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for making it this far. You guys are seriously the best. The world is kind of crazy right now, but we can all create and come together. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I want you to hit that subscribe button. That's the red button, and turn on alerts, tap the bell, and that's going to tell you when I go live and when I post. It'd be awesome if we can hang out and chat, so I want to see you there. You can also come say hi on the socials. I'm at sketchaday.com on Instagram, at Daily Sketches on the Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/sketchaday, or just search for Sketchaday. It's real easy. All right, guys. Well, thank you, and I'll see you next time right here on Sketchaday.